Hello, howdy, hi, everybody, beautiful people. I'm back, and I'm talking again, and you can't stop me. Anyway, Jurassic Birth, Reborn, Birthing, whatever it's called, doesn't have much to do with the movie. It's a meta name because they're not doing the trilogy anymore. So I'm going to talk about it, and if you don't want to hear me talk, which is reasonable, I guess, and you just want to watch the cool, epic, awesome drawing, then just mute me, I guess, or turn the video off. That works too. That'll shut me up too. Anyway, my expectations into this were somewhat low because we went off of Dominion, was the last Jurassic World movie, and that is one of the worst pieces of trash I've ever seen out of any cinema ever. And I think it's the worst in the franchise. If it was a person, I'd want to slap it in the face. It was purely atrocious. And some of the flaws carry over into this movie, just like the other Jurassic World movies. But, hey, it's better. So it cleared the lowest bar it could. Confirmed, Rebirth is better than Dominion. So my main issue with this movie, just to get straight to it, is that the Jurassic World movies have become very formulaic. They have this very safe, bland, and repetitive system to all of their movies. And they're blatantly clear. And you can even see in the trailer, you've seen some aspects of this movie before. But there are some outliers, and I'll get to the good sides later. But I just wanted to start with that. And some of the main differences I thought would happen, especially since you have an all-new cast and all new dinosaurs, is all the new opportunities you can do with the story. But they chose not to do that, because they are allergic to doing anything special or new. Anyway, it is not scary at all, basically. If you were hoping that they'd start leaning more into the horror aspect, especially since they basically said they would in the marketing, they very much don't. If anything, it's not as scary. The movie doesn't even try to build tension, really. I didn't feel on the edge of my seat at almost any time in this movie. The Jurassic World movies are monster movies, and in monster movies that are thrillers or action, you need tension. You need something to be scared of, and you need characters to be worried about being scared. I'll get into some specific stupidities that this movie has, which first off is their weird continuity. And this goes with their other movies. In Fallen Kingdom, at the very end, the dinosaurs are released out into the world. They're out into the human world. Oh no, so scary. Anyway, and the main issue is, how are humans and dinosaurs going to find a way to coexist? That's what the next movie has to tackle. And it's like, yes, finally, you have something interesting and different and new that you can deal with in this movie. Except Dominion decided not to focus on that question or any of those aspects because it's too busy with its locust plot with the evil Steve Jobs. Goodness, I hate that movie. And then it ends with a scene of dinosaurs and a bunch of other species, basically with the movie saying, we will find a way to coexist. You know, we're back on theme. Only you will not find a way to coexist because all these dinosaurs, as said at the beginning of this movie, slowly started to die out because they can't survive in any other climate except for warm, humid ones that are on the equator, which they say that in the movie quite a couple times, more so than they should, because, I don't know, they think we're stupid or something, I'm not sure. So, yeah, weird contradictions, weird choices, and it's purely just so we can go back to an island. We know the reason, just so it's more ambiguous, the fact that there's these dinosaurs and stuff. It gets annoying. The old movies had the theme of life finds a way. The new theme seems to be, how many times can we make the same movie before everyone gets sick of it? Anyway, one other small complaint. There's a bunch of other little things, but I don't want to get into them, except for one. There was one last thing that kind of just made me laugh. So, in the movie, there's this little dinosaur, okay? And it follows around the main character, a little girl. And it's cute. You know what? It's adorable. I love it. And I don't want any harm coming to it. And it kind of reminds me of my dog. Which is why I'm questioning why they took it home with them at the end of the movie. They took it away from the island. It's gonna die on the mainland. You specifically said like 100 times that they can only live in these type of climates. Now the thing is gonna suffer and slowly die. Why would you do that? And when I was walking out of the theater with my brother, I told him that fact because it was fresh on my head because it's right at the end. And some random guy in the theater, never met this guy before, goes, oh yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm not the only one who noticed this problem. I don't know. That's funny, though. I just don't want this little thing getting hurt. But I think it's worth talking about the good of the movie, too. One of the main things is the aesthetic. This movie, along with other Gareth Edwards movies, have a really cool, film, grainy look to them. And then some of the characters were standouts, not the actors, like Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali are just standout actors, not characters at all. So, But the guy Henry, who was like the paleontologist or like the expert of the group on dinosaurs, I found him super surprising. I really liked him because he's very intelligent, but he's not the goofy nerd type character you see in other movies who's so out of his climate and so out of his area that he's like so incompetent the whole time, or like he's scared, or like he says some smart gibberish and then everyone goes, English please. There's none of that. He's intelligent, respected, and he's very competent, which you need to be for a job like this in the movie, and I actually really thought that was cool. They were trying to build a character there. The other standout character was the boyfriend of one of the girls in that family that we follow for half the movie. I thought he was really interesting because at first glance he's a very like lazy and careless character, but when the time comes for it, he's not very lazy at all, actually. He's very resourceful and he's very caring, and the father sees that, and there's actually some development going on there. In fact, a lot of the stuff having to do with that family was the thing that had me interested in the movie, for the most part. And now for the main event, the dinosaurs. We all came here just for the big dinosaurs, right? Well, they are big in this movie. So the point is that this island is specifically like a mutated island, a lot of these dinosaurs. So they are all massive. Like some of them are even twice the size of their other movie counterparts. They completely gave up on like trying to like resemble their older selves. It's just like, nope. Big dinos, cool dinos, especially they all have like this weird like thin aquatic look to them, and I actually really like it. Sadly, the dinosaurs aren't very well implemented in the movie. Like I said, the scariness of the movie and then the characters of the movie and the dinosaurs, they all go hand in hand, and those other aspects were just kind of weak for me personally. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts. I really wanted this movie to stand out. I really wanted it to be special because you have all new characters, all new dinosaurs, all new scenarios, all the different possibilities that you could do with this franchise, but they didn't decide to do anything except for what we know, which is they go to an island and do the same old shenanigans we've seen over and over again. And I'm wondering when we'll all get sick of it. But either way, should I recommend this movie? Well, if you are most of my audience, you'll probably already saw it, but if you haven't yet, it is a fun dinosaur movie if that's what you're into. And of course, I'm a little more critical than people normally are. But if you are like me and you're sick of seeing the same movie over and over again, maybe wait till it goes on streaming. I don't know. But I did have a good time though, so just please take my thoughts into consideration. Look at the trailers for yourself and you decide if you want to go. Anyway, that's my rant over. This is it. So this is what the D-Rex looks like without the giant gorilla arms.